Hello, and welcome to a video that's less about chuckling at bad politicians and more about, well, still pretty bleak stuff if we're being honest. We're diving deep into the top 5 global health challenges as seen through the eyes of Médecins Sans Frontières, or as they're known to people who can pronounce French Doctors Without Borders. Now, I know what you're thinking, John. I just finished a bag of off-brand Cheetos and I'm ready for some light-hearted content, but trust me, this is important. We're talking about issues that impact millions around the world, and frankly, ignoring them would be about as effective as throwing a band-aid on a severed limb. Spoiler alert, it doesn't end well. So buckle up, grab a glass of water. You're going to need it after that Cheeto dust storm. And get ready for an eye-opening journey through some of the most pressing health issues of our time. First up, we're tackling the big, scary monster under the bed that is infectious diseases. Now, while most of us associate these with history books, the bubonic plague, smallpox, that time your roommate Kevin refused to wash his hands after handling raw chicken, the reality is there's still a very real and present danger. We're talking everything from Ebola, which sounds like something a Bond villain would name their pet goldfish, to good old-fashioned COVID-19, a virus that clearly missed the memo about pandemics being so last century. These diseases don't discriminate. They can sweep across borders, overwhelm healthcare systems, and leave a trail of devastation in their wake. And let's be clear, a trail of devastation is a polite way of saying a whole lot of preventable deaths. So why are we still grappling with these microscopic menaces? Well, it's complicated. Poverty, lack of access to healthcare, and yes, even good old-fashioned misinformation all play a part. It's a tangled web, and frankly, we're all caught in it. Let's talk about something we often take for granted: access to essential medicines. You know, those little pills and potions that can mean the difference between life and death? Yeah, those. For millions around the world, these life-saving treatments are about as accessible as a private Beyoncé concert on a shoestring budget. We're not just talking about experimental gene therapies here, folks. We're talking basic, essential medications, antibiotics to fight infections, insulin for diabetes, antiretrovirals for HIV, medicines that many in developed countries can pick up at their local pharmacy with a quick flash of their insurance card. But for others, it's a daily struggle against a system rigged against them. High drug prices, weak healthcare infrastructure, and a healthy dose of good old-fashioned inequality create a perfect storm where the most vulnerable are left stranded without a life raft. It's a global health injustice that deserves our attention and, frankly, our outrage. Chapter 3. The Hidden Hunger Tackling Malnutrition. Next on our hit parade of depressing yet important global health challenges, malnutrition. And no, before you ask, this isn't just about people not getting their 5 a day, although that kale smoothie wouldn't hurt. We're talking about a severe lack of essential nutrients that can have devastating long-term consequences. Imagine a world where children, instead of being bouncy balls of energy, are stunted, their growth and development hampered by a chronic lack of proper food, where preventable diseases like anemia and blindness run rampant. Sadly, this isn't some dystopian nightmare. It's the reality for millions around the world, particularly in low-income countries. The causes are complex and interlinked: poverty, food insecurity, inadequate sanitation, and a sprinkle of climate change for good measure. It's a vicious cycle, and breaking it requires a multifaceted approach that addresses not just the symptoms, but the root causes. And no, sadly, those root causes don't involve a lack of willpower or people making bad food choices. Chapter 4, When Healthcare Goes Boom, the Impact of Conflict. Let's talk about conflict, shall we? And no, I don't mean that passive-aggressive group text about who's bringing what to the potluck. I'm talking about war, violence, and unrest. The kind that turns entire countries into danger zones and makes accessing healthcare about as easy as finding a decent slice of pizza in a war zone. Imagine, if you will, hospitals being bombed, medical supplies being looted, and healthcare workers, those brave souls who run towards danger when everyone else is running away, becoming targets themselves. This isn't just collateral damage, folks. It's a deliberate tactic of war, one that leaves already vulnerable populations reeling. The impact is devastating and long-lasting. Health systems crumble, diseases spread like wildfire, and people are left without access to even the most basic medical care. It's a brutal reality that demands our attention, our outrage, and most importantly, our action, because turning a blind eye, well, that's about as helpful as a chocolate fireguard. Chapter 5, The Mind Matters, Prioritizing Mental Health. Finally, let's address the elephant in the room, or rather the elephant in our heads, mental health. Now, I know, talking about mental health can be about as comfortable as a conversation with your family about your dating life after that string of Tinder disasters. But it's time to normalize the conversation, folks. Mental health is just as important as physical health. Yet, it's often stigmatized, underfunded, and brushed under the rug, like that embarrassing childhood photo your mom insists on showing your new partner. We're talking about conditions like depression, anxiety, PTSD, conditions that can affect anyone, anywhere, regardless of age, gender, or how many Instagram followers you have. The good news is mental health conditions are treatable. The bad news, access to care remains a significant barrier for millions around the world. And there you have it, folks. The top 5 global health challenges laid bare for your viewing pleasure, or at least your viewing discomfort. We've journeyed through a world of infectious diseases, inaccessible medicines, and the silent suffering of malnutrition. We've seen the devastating impact of conflict on healthcare and the urgent need to prioritize mental health. It's heavy stuff, I know. But here's the thing. Awareness is the first step. By understanding the challenges, we can start to demand better, fight for change, and push for a world where everyone, no matter where they're born or what life throws their way, has the chance to live a healthy life. So go forth, share this video, donate to organizations like Médecins Sans Frontières if you can, and let's work together to create a healthier, more equitable future for all. Because in the immortal words of healthcare professionals everywhere, prevention is better than a cure, and frankly, it's a lot less messy too.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.